Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Sagittarius is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Sagittarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. We start with the Five of Pentacles. It's the card of change. I think you're somebody that is right in the middle of a large transition in your life, okay? I feel like things are moving around. I feel like you have boxes that are all over the place. Things feel up in the air. I think you're somebody that is kind of experiencing a little bit of like physical or financial worry or instability. Okay, that's something like we don't feel like we have solid ground beneath our feet right now. I think you're somebody that can handle change. You can handle uncertainty very well. Of course, we're worried about it. We don't like it. It's not a comfortable thing, but this is kind of an uncomfortable card, right? This is saying like we're going through something that we'd rather not go through, but I think we know that there are long-term benefits. So you're somebody that can kind of say like, yeah, right now things are shaky, things are all over the place, things kind of seem like they're just scattered around, it's like boxes everywhere, but I know that this is for a good reason. I know that on the other side of this is success, okay? It may be that you're sort of involved in a project where we don't know the outcome. This is us walking through the dark, scary forest. Physically in life, that you're out here doing something that's not promised, it's not guaranteed. You're doing the uncomfortable work of trying, okay? Because I think that you know that it's worth the risk. This is something that, again, feels uncomfortable now, feels like an investment, it feels like instability, it feels like I'm worried about it, right? But I think that we sort of see like the long-term benefit or the long-term kind of potential that this situation has for you. So let's put this card into a little bit of context. We're going to use our Dove and Serpent spread. You are the Magician. Look at that. The Magus or Magician card. We've got a Nine of Cups underneath us. You got the Hermit behind you. Yeah, that makes sense. The Empress up above you. And the entire future in front of you. Okay, you've got the Knight of Pentacles. Over here, we have the Eight of Cups. Yeah, makes perfect sense. You are currently in an 8 and a 5. What we want is the 9. What we want is the Empress. You have the Princess of Pentacles. This is what you're looking at. Okay, this is what we want. This is what we're looking at currently. The Princess of Pentacles is going to transform into the Empress, right? Isn't that what I always say about the Princess of Pentacles? That she's going to transform into the Empress. She becomes the Empress. Okay? Here we have a Knight of Cups and a Prince of Cups. Very interesting. A lot of court cards here. You may be dealing with some difficult people in your life right now, or you may be dealing with a lot of different people's emotions in whatever you're doing in life right now, okay? But it looks to me like what you're involved with is really going to work out. That it is going to be, the gift is arriving, okay? Whatever you're investing, this is what you're investing in. This is what you hope it becomes. Okay, you're following the path with heart. I think that you see a wide open future here. The future is going to be extraordinary. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right over here with, let's use Big Red Ant for our mystery card. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card could be, put your prediction in the comments down below. Okay, now, as we look around the room, major arcana energies. We don't see any fire at the moment. Okay, we see water and water and water and water. We don't see any air cards either. What we see is earth and earth and earth. Even the Hermit's a little bit of earth with that Virgo energy. Even the Empress is a little bit of earth, right, with that Venus energy, the kind of the Mother Earth energy. So this is really interesting. There's no air and there's no fire, so we don't have a lot of the active elements. We don't have any air. Maybe that's kind of a, maybe that is a message as well. Right? The lack of air energy, that intellectual energy, the logical energy, the rational energy, the interpersonal communication. Maybe right now you're being told, don't focus so much on communicating with words. Communicate through your feelings and your actions and your gestures. Okay? That might be kind of who you are. You might not be someone who is really full of a lot of words. Like you don't have a lot to say right now. But you're showing how you feel about people through the things that you're doing. Yeah. And maybe that's it. Maybe, I said that you're dealing with a lot of other people's emotions right now. Maybe the way you're dealing with that is not trying to, meet their emotional energy with rational energy. You're being told to meet their emotional energy with your own emotional energy. Okay? Resonate with them. Harmonize with them. Yeah. We want consonance. We want to vibrate with somebody, showing compassion and empathy, and not just trying to be logical. Right? Does that make sense? So a lot of good cards here. The Magician is the battlefield right now. This is your second card, and this is the card of, it's the card of communication. So in a very literal way, this is like kind of asking you, how are you interfacing with the people around you? Because we don't see the swords. You're not interfacing with them through necessarily like logic and through reasoning, trying to prove, the facts of something. You're not communicating to them with fire either. We're not just getting mad. We're not getting frustrated. I think you're communicating with people through calm, emotional energy, being a steady, kind of authentic, presence in people's lives. So we're communicating on that emotional plane and on the physical plane through gestures. So if you're dealing with a lot of emotional people, or maybe you're an emotional person right now, it could be, we're not trying to talk ourselves or talk other people out of their feelings. We're trying to show how we feel through what we're doing, right? So this is someone is having a rough time emotionally. You don't go over to their house and try to explain to them all the reasons why they should feel better. No, you bring them something to eat. You come over with a casserole or some enchiladas or something, and you just sit with them, and you sort of, you commiserate in a little bit of a sense, yeah? But we show compassion in that way. So I think that you're expressing yourself right now through your feelings, through your presence, through your actions, through your physical presence, okay, and physical gestures. That's the key right now. The Magician is also the one that has to orchestrate something. The one on stage doing the thing, performing the feat. And when we take these things together, this is the Magician juggling a lot of things right now. Again, everything's up in the air. A lot of things are happening. You're trying to resonate with people and harmonize and show compassion and hold everybody together in that way. Maybe this is like a family thing, or this is like, some challenging things going on at work. You're the one that seems like you have to conduct everything. Like you're the conductor of the symphony, yeah? The conductor of the orchestra. Because the Magician can use all of these tools. Everything that's up in the air is something for the Magician to use, okay? And so it kind of feels like you're in a time crunch, kind of feels like you have all these things that need to be done, and you're the one that has to kind of run around and like keep all these plates spinning. There's a lot for you to do. Okay, I feel like a very busy energy right now. Spirit's saying something about a very heavy mirror. I don't know if you have like one of those mirrors and one of those big like brass frames. It's like really like a heavy thing to move. Yeah. Maybe you're moving. Maybe this is a physical relocation. Maybe this is a financial thing. Maybe this is you doing the work of the physical health. You know, you're trying to deal with a lot of things going on in life, but you're trying to deal with your own personal stuff too. Okay, the magician is the one that has to take all of these things that are up in the air and create something. The magician is the one that can cause change in conformity with will. Well, you've caused the change. We see that. We see a lot of things are changing in your life right now. I think physically and financially, a lot of things are going on. Okay? And I think we're trying to deal with how we feel about that, how other people feel about that, and we're trying to navigate those emotional waters while we're navigating these physical waters. Okay, but I think that we know that the changes that are taking place now are for our highest good. Okay, there's a reason why we're going through this challenging thing right now. And again, the magician, the challenge for you is to just keep everything going, you know, to continue juggling all these different things, because we know that it's for a good reason. And that reason is partially down here with our 9 of Cups. This is what's inside of you. This is our third position. This is what's in your soul, and this is the pursuit of happiness. This is you following your bliss. Okay? So I think that like what's changing in your life is hopefully rearranging life in a way where you can generate more happiness. Okay, so you're making changes that are hopefully going to make things better for you and the people you love. We're trying to increase the quality of life for ourselves and others. We're trying to alleviate suffering for ourselves and others. Okay, and to do this, to have happiness, to live a happy life, which is what you feel in your soul, and deep in your bones. I want to be happy. I want to enjoy my pets, my plants, my people. And I want everybody to enjoy themselves and to enjoy others. And I want this to be I want us to be a big happy family, right? And so because this is your deep inner soul level motivation, you're willing to go through this challenging phase. Because again, your general energy is the 8 of Cups, and your situation right now is a lot of moving parts, a lot of things that are needing to be held together, and you're the one holding them together, okay? Because you believe in the cause. You believe that there's a purpose to this. Yeah. Now in the background, we have this Hermit energy. And this may be, a period of time for you where, and it may be that you're still here, because the Hermit's the one that has taken the first step into the dark, scary forest. And of course, this is you walking through the dark, scary forest to get to the future, to see the vista of the horizon, right, of your new life. So this is a very earthy building kind of process. The Hermit sets out on the quest, right? Takes that first step into the dark, scary forest, goes off trail, decides, okay, I'm going to do something with my life. I'm going to make some changes that are going to be for my highest good, but the journey starts now. Following the inner light, your starlight, moving into the dark, scary forest where we are trying to rearrange things. We're trying to make things happen. We're trying to put pieces together. Maybe you're building a business. Maybe you're building a home, a family. You're building a life, right? You're building your big rock candy mountain up here with the Empress. And so this is that physical pathway forward. Of course, once we get further along, looking at the Knight of Pentacles, you're able to see the summit of the mountain. So it's like it all comes into view, and because right now, I think with the 5 of Pentacles, you can't really see it because you're in the middle of it. But very soon, you're going to get that, it's all going to come into view, and you're going to see the summit. And I think that's going to motivate you big time, okay? And the Magician, of course, is you. You're the magic maker. This is your intention, this is your will. You're the one that has to adapt, and you're the one that has to flow with the universe, right? The Magician is highly adaptable. Okay? So in some ways, it's kind of like, in which ways do you need to grow and change and adapt? What things do you have to learn in order to make this come together? So this is you on that show I like to talk about on Food Network, Chopped. No affiliation with Food Network. They don't sponsor the channel or anything. They maybe could if they wanted to. But I love that show because it's the contestants, and they're given this basket of ingredients. To me, this is really that show, because they're given this basket of ingredients, and they're being told, make a masterpiece out of these ingredients. Okay. The magician, the cook, the chef comes in, the conductor comes in and has to figure out, how do I make a masterpiece out of these ingredients? Well, the good news is you don't just get these ingredients. You have access to the entire Chopped pantry and fridge, okay? You can use other ingredients, but you have to use these. You have to find a way to make this the masterpiece, yeah? And so the magician has to draw upon, the chef, has to draw upon their previous knowledge. Maybe I don't know anything about these ingredients. Maybe I've never been in this part of the forest before, and I don't know what the heck these ingredients are. But I have skills and talents that I can bring to bear on this and make something good. The thing about the magician is that it's not just able to adapt, but it's able to learn and grow. It's able to change the situation a little bit. So it's not just you have to accept these ingredients and that's it. You have to use what's here, you have to use what's available, but there's a lot more that you can do too. You can augment this with other ingredients. You can go get some apples or something, or go and get some, vegetable stock or something, and do something with this using other tools. Okay, you're not limited to just what is in front of you. So in other words, the magician doesn't just have to take what's here and say, this is what my life is, and I've just got to work with what's here. No, the magician can say, I can change this a little bit. I can transform these ingredients into something else by bringing other ingredients in. Just because you can adapt to anything doesn't mean you have to, because that's severely limiting yourself. So Spirit wants you to figure out, what other resources can you draw upon? What else do you need to bring in order to help you now? Other people, places, and things. Other ingredients, right? Don't feel limited in this situation that you can only use what's right here in front of you. No, you can draw upon your past. You can learn and grow new things. If you have something else that will help you, you can either have it, you can acquire it, or you can create it. Okay? Because what you're doing is you're building your Big Rock Candy Mountain. You're building your paradise, your happiest life, your best life. Okay? And so when the stakes are high, like you're on that show Chopped, and the stake, I don't know what the prize is. You win something, money probably, I don't know, some pots and pans. When the stakes are that high, when the reward is that biggest reward of your life, the sort of the best life, this is the ultimate prize for you. And this is, of course, the Empress card, right? This is this is everything. And we're not going to hold ourselves back. We're going to pull out all the stops. So the ego's got to get out of the way a little bit, and I've got to do whatever it takes. If I need to learn something, I'll learn it. If I need to grow something or build something, I'll build it, I'll grow it, I'll do whatever I have to do, because the stakes are high. Like this is it. This is the biggest project of your life right now. Okay? So the magician has to be willing to really draw upon every resource that you could possibly imagine. And whatever it is that you need to bring to bear on this to make it work, you're going to make it work. Because this is everything. This is all the marbles. Okay? Now's not the time for us to, to hold ourselves back. Yeah. So the Empress, like I said, this is kind of our goal. This is what we're wishing for. We want the good life. We want all the rewards of life. We want to put in work, sure, because the Empress reminds us that we get out of something what we put into it. The more we devote ourselves to something, the more we give it our blood, sweat, and tears, the more it's gonna come back to us. Okay, and so this is that life where I'm the caretaker of this life. I'm the gardener, the curator of this life. Whatever I want my life to be, I gotta build it. I gotta put in the work and I gotta make it so. Okay? And that's kind of what the magician does. This is the positive change that the magician is trying to enact, right? What is magic but the art and science of causing change in conformity with will? Okay? Very standard definition. What is it that you will? You are willing your highest good, your best life, whatever this goal really is. This is what you want. So this is the change. This is you causing that change to get this. Whatever this is, that masterpiece, okay? Now, in the future position, you have your Knight of Pentacles. I think that this literally is changing everything for you. I think the work you're doing now is opening up a new vista, a new horizon for your future, a future that you never would have imagined. This is kind of like when we entered the dark, scary forest, and when we entered that forest, I feel like it kind of took you away from a lot of your joy and happiness, because it's like, I gotta put my head down, I gotta take care of business. Which means that you probably stopped hanging out with friends so much, you spend a lot of time in the office, or a lot of time in the gym, or a lot of time doing the work, right? But you are reminding yourself that it's worth it, it's worth it, it's worth it. That's why right now you have that Eight of Cups energy, because it's just kind of like you're running yourself a little bit ragged because of your commitment to doing this work, but it's worth it. Okay? And if these rewards weren't here, you wouldn't still be doing this. Okay? You would have given up. Okay? The good news is that you're almost out of that forest. You're getting very, very close. Okay? Now, did you have a conversation with somebody recently about symbols or glyphs or something like that? Some kind of I don't know if it was a sigil or some kind of a symbol. Like, I feel like you had that conversation recently. Yeah. The Knight of Pentacles is a Capricorn energy. Okay? And I think that what Spirit wants you to do moving forward is to look at how close your goals really are. Yeah, look how far you've already come through this process. And by kind of seeing, it's almost like when you're sailing in a ship and you finally see land, everybody starts to row and paddle harder, you know? Somehow, suddenly they get a lot more motivation because they can see the goal, right? Now suddenly, I'm not tired anymore, let's hurry up and go. That's kind of what this is about. I think this is you taking the time to look into the future and see that this goal is materializing for you. And allow that vision of the future to motivate you to more action, to get that surge of energy, right? Because Path of the Serpent, let's talk about these cards. The Eight of Cups. Now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. The readings are totally free. It really supports the channel, and I really appreciate that. The Eight of Cups here is... well, it's kind of feeling like we've been in the dark, scary forest for so long that I'm starting to doubt the path, you know? It's a little bit of that energy that says, I'm getting kind of tired here. My clothes are getting kind of raggedy. I'm covered in dust, and I'm getting a little tired. It feels like, it's starting to slow down a little bit, right? It's not really a card of laziness, although that's one interpretation of the Eight of Cups. It's more of an emotional exhaustion to me. To me, it feels like almost we're approaching an idea of hopelessness. It's like the Eight of Cups. We know that the Nine of Cups is next, but it's just like, I better get that Nine of Cups soon because I'm getting worn out, people, you know? And so this is your general energy right now. This is kind of how you feel, and this might be how other people are seeing you. It could be that's why we have the emotional energy, and we're talking about that emotional resonance or consonance, that compassion and kind of being present with people that are around and kind of, sharing in this emotional state with others. Because maybe people are looking at you and thinking, you need some rest. You got to take it easy. You've been going too hard for too long. You've got to take some time for yourself, you know. And you're kind of saying, no, I got to keep going. And we're just like dragging ourselves through the forest. And so, it may be that we do need to take a little time to pause, let your horse eat some grass, as you see in this card, yeah. And let your horse eat some grass, and you look to the future and see see the wonder that you're creating, and allow that to replenish you and restore you and give you that motivation again, give you that sense of purpose, the Nine of Cups sense of purpose, yeah. Tap back into the joy too. Maybe this is kind of like saying, you know, the path used to be fun. I used to enjoy the work that I was doing. Now it kind of feels like there's there's not so much enjoyment of the process. That we're just kind of like, we're thinking, well, maybe in the future I'll be happy, but right now I kind of got to suffer, you know. And so maybe Spirit wants you to tap back in to that joy that you first experienced when you were doing this work. You know, make it fun again, reconnect with that sense of purpose and why I'm doing it. Okay. The path should be as enjoyable as the destination. Okay. And if it's not, it might mean that we're starting to slow down and don't know if we're really going to make it to the destination. We've got to reconnect with that sense of purpose and give ourselves that surge of energy. That could be, again, why we don't have any fire energy here in the reading. Because we're in need of a little bit of that motivation. The next card, the next card is the Princess of Pentacles, who is going to transform into the Empress. This is someone who is pregnant. This is somebody now who's a parent, right? This is the mother, and this is the one who is carrying the child. In other words, this is kind of us doing the work and investing in something, giving ourselves to something, right? And right now, that life is just starting to grow. We see a little bit of that green energy in the bottom of the cards in the root system. So the verdant energy is just starting to grow in something, but eventually it will blossom into a full garden. This is now, I've planted the seeds and I'm doing the work. I'm watering it. Things are starting to happen underneath the soil, but really to me it still looks like nothing's here. So this is us doing the work even when we don't have a lot of rewards. Putting in all this work, but I'm not seeing the growth. There's no fruit on the tree. You look at this, it looks like a barren and sterile landscape. There's nothing growing here. We're doing the work, and this is the investment. Okay, this is where we're putting our investment. And this is what you're looking at. This is the card of the environment, the card of your relationships. And it may feel right now that you're not getting so nourished, that what you're doing is you're sacrificing and suffering, you're giving, and you're not yet getting any of the rewards. Okay? You're doing all the gardening, but you haven't been able to eat a single strawberry yet. Yeah? Because this is what you're looking at. This is how you see the world. Okay, and you see the world as something that needs your time, effort, energy, and/or money. Needs your blood, sweat, and tears. It needs you to put in the work to cultivate it. And that's what you're doing. I think eventually we want to see the world like this. Now, the world is the Garden of Eden. Now the world is the paradise that you're feeding yourself on. And these two positions obviously are very connected, right? And so this is what we're trying to do, is transform our world into this paradise. And this is, it's not there yet, but I think when we get here, we can look and we can see that, hey, you know what? I'm a lot closer than I thought. Yeah. Now, the Knight of Cups is in the position of the fear, worry, concern, or the fear, the anxiety, the obstacle. And the Knight of Cups is a card of the giving and receiving of love and affection. This is the card of following the path with heart. This is the card of passion. This is the card of looking at the future and seeing the 10 of Cups. This is worth it. That the path I'm on now is going to fulfill me. Looking at the Knight of Pentacles is looking at the 10 of Pentacles. I can see the goal, sure. I can see the town. I can see the building. I can see the color of the wallpaper. But the difficulty right now is for you to look at the future and see the satisfaction. It's like, yeah, I can see the things built, the buildings built, it's got doors, it's got windows, it's got carpet, fine. But can you see the people in the building? Can you see the love that you're building? Can you see the family? Can you see the satisfaction, the purpose that you're creating? Can you see the satiety, right? That sense of fullness, of being fully filled. Okay, when we're thinking of the future, we're looking at the physical future. This is looking at the emotional future. How's my life going to feel? How am I going to feel when I get there? Can you feel the joy of getting to the finish? Can you feel the joy of the life you're creating? Can you see it? Okay. Understanding, yes, how I want my life to look, or what I want it, to physically be, but how do I want my life to feel? We have to get that satisfaction. We have to connect with that purpose. So it's like, I know that I'm building a life that I'm going to be satisfied to live. I'm going to be happy to live this life. I can see the color of the wallpaper, but I can also see like the love that's in the room, in that life that I'm building. Okay. I think this is also the card that is reminding us to stay connected with the people around us. I feel like a lot of people are around you, family, friends, coworkers. Everybody's dealing with the emotions of this situation. It's important for you to connect with those people. Okay? We don't see the air here. We're not trying to be so logical and reasonable and talk people out of it. Just sit with people, be present. Share some food, together, have a meal together, and just be in that love with your people right now. Okay? Because that's going to help everybody to kind of feel connected. We're all in this together, right? So that we can keep going forward and we can build this thing we're building. Yeah, whether it's a family, a life, a business, whatever it might be. And that's kind of where we see the stability now with the Prince of Cups there at the end. That's kind of the destiny card. This is somebody who is living in the moment and feeling their feelings, living their truth, being authentic. Living their authentic life, doing what they're meant to do, fulfilling their purpose. There's a sense of independence there. There's a sense of connection and love. There's beauty, joy, harmony. This is somebody that feels connected with the people around them. Somebody who's living in the moment, enjoying the moment with all of its ups and downs. Feeling a sense of purpose in the moment, even with all the ups and downs. Okay. So I think this is you feeling the love and continuing on this journey of building up your best life, right? And feeling connected with not only the work itself, but feeling connected with the people that are involved as well, whether they're directly involved or just kind of peripherally. This is you feeling the truth and the authenticity of your path in the moment, on the day-to-day. The day-to-day activities, And so it might be that really you need some emotional support as you navigate these big changes that are happening in your life. And I think the Prince of Cups is a perfect symbol of that. Having that kind of, that connectivity, feeling like you have your people around you, you have the emotional support that you need, and you're there as emotional support for others, because we don't want to feel like a hermit, like isolated, And that might be part of it. The hermit is saying, I've got to do this alone. I'm following my path. I'm entering the dark, scary forest. And now I'm starting to feel kind of tired and kind of lonely and kind of sad and a little hopeless. We got to connect with our people. You're not alone. Okay, you may feel like you're in the dark, scary forest all by yourself, but no, you're not. There's people here. Okay? People here in this community for you, but people in your life locally too. Okay. Let's look at our mystery card. Big red ant, what do you have for us? I want fire. I don't know, we can get the art or temperance card, I guess, for you. We can get an ace of wands. A 6, I think, would be good. A 6 of wands or a 6 of anything would be happy, because that shows connections with others, It shows the camaraderie or the harmony or the resonance or the consonance, right? Resonating with someone, vibrating with someone, harmonizing with someone. So let's see what we have. We have a King of Pentacles, fixed earth energy to go with our fixed water. See, look at this. We have the Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Cups. These are looking at the future, and these are ready to just kind of begin this path, continue the path, really, taking a pause, right? And we're ready to begin that path again, resume the path, and we're looking at the future. Now we have the same elements, right? The earth and the water, but in the present moment. Engaged in the work, in real time, in the moment. Okay, in the process. And we've stopped to look at the future. Now we're in that moment. So I like that. I feel like we're regaining some of our connection, some of our purpose. We're regaining strength. It's like we're resting, or we're feeling the connections with others as a way to uplift us and a way to restore our strength and vigor. It's kind of like we're getting motivated again to continue doing the hard work. The King of Pentacles here is the one that's building the life, right? And as the builder energy, it shows up every day. It puts in the work. Of course, it'd be nice if that builder energy also had that authentic connection and that feeling of like, I'm not just building some empty building for other people. I'm building a building that I get to live in with my people and live my life full of love in this thing. So a King of Pentacles or a Prince, same fixed energy, right? Building something for somebody else feels empty. It's hollow. I clock in, I build the thing, I clock out. That's it. But this is like, no, this is mine. I'm building it for me and my people, me and my loved ones, that I'm building something that means something to me. Okay? So this is like, you go to work, you clock in, you do the work, you leave. But now with the Prince of Cups, we feel an emotional connection with the work we're doing. We feel like I'm motivated. I feel better about what I'm doing because I know that it has that purpose and that meaning behind it. I think this is really cool. This is really nice, and I think we're getting that gift of connections with other people and that kind of emotional support. I think we're also getting the gift of like something's just about to be born through you. Like you're really close to the goal here, and I think we can pause and we can gaze into the future and we can see how close we really are. A gift is about to arrive for you. Okay, again, Princess of Pentacles becoming the Empress, pregnant with something. Becoming the mother energy. Okay, not gender specific, but you know what I mean, right? I like this. I think this is great. We're going to do an extended reading too. If you want to stick around, we'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There is a link in the corner. There is a link down below. New readings for Sagittarius on Tuesdays and Fridays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you are watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you, and I love you. And we are all in this together.